Texas Chainsaw Massacre is dead. Or is it? Texas Chainsaw Massacre has been out for almost 3 months now, and the player count has taken a huge hit. In this video, I'll be going over why that is and what it means for the future of this game. And for the people wondering if they should still look into investing some time and money in this game, especially with the new DLC coming out. If you've been around the channel, I've been talking a lot about whether TCM could live up to the hype or just die down. I brought up games like Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th because they are both asymmetrical horror games that succeeded in their own way. The success of Dead by Daylight has been off the charts, even so many years later, especially as they continue to add new content like Chucky and Alien. DBD has been able to not only maintain their player count, but also get even bigger with over 30,000 active players on SteamDB. Friday the 13th, while not as successful, still has a dedicated fan base that supported the game despite the legal issues. But the game lost most of its total player count within the first couple of months. Could things have gone differently without all the legal issues? Definitely yes. Now, before you guys yell at me and put me on a crucifix, I'm not debating which game is better, I'm simply talking about the overall success of the games. What do the people want to play? Where is the crowd? Where is the money that will keep the game alive so that people can grind this game and rack up DLC content without it all going to waste if the game dies within a few months? So with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I expected a similar outcome to Friday the 13th. They have lost about 80% of their initial player count and are sitting at around 1,000 to 2,000 active players on SteamDB just 3 months after release. Now, does this mean the game is dying? It actually doesn't. There are many reasons why the game isn't dying, even though the loss of players is concerning. First reason is the game is like F13 and will still have a dedicated fan base for a long time. The community, although not massive, is very strong and I believe will stick. The game unfortunately did not bring the same replayability that Dead by Daylight brought, which you can see with their player retention. I know some people believe Dead by Daylight is the most repetitive game ever and that they only have players because of the new content that they bring in. That just isn't true. Of course, it does help to advertise the game and bring in more revenue, but overall the gameplay progression and even ranking system are the reason why the game has been such a success. The people just really want to play this game and you can see it in their numbers. Although I will say it is funny because everybody who mains Dead by Daylight complains about the game. Even the people with thousands of hours on the game don't like the game, which is why I'm not saying this game is better because the player base themselves doesn't like the game, which is pretty funny. Either way, let's say hypothetically the gameplay of DBD is terrible. Well, they made it so terrible that players just want to keep playing it, which brings in great success. With that said, I believe that there will always be a strong community around TCM as long as the developers continue to support it, just not as big as DBD. Also real quick, make sure you guys don't forget to support the channel by clicking the subscribe button down below. Love you guys who do. The other thing that TCM has, which Friday the 13th actually didn't have, is crossplay. The numbers for player count I've been saying are for Steam and Steam only. I don't know what the player count is for Xbox and PlayStation, and since those player counts are technically combined with crossplay, the game is far from being dead and won't be anytime soon. I know a lot of y'all are preying on this game's downfall and just wanted to say, I told you so. But the game is definitely a success in its own way, although it's not as much of a success as Dead by Daylight, which is honestly an anomaly between those games. It still did its thing and it's still gonna keep going for a long time. Another reason the game will still be alive is because of how much the developers support the game. The game has been continuously getting new patches and adjustments for everything. Even things in the pregame lobby, which some people are not very happy with, to the upcoming DLC, which we will also be getting new characters and maps in the future. Although it does seem like things may be a bit pricey, at least we are getting the content and support from the devs. This game is still worth getting, especially if you're going to play with friends. Don't expect to be able to grind it like you would DBD or really any game that people put hundreds of hours into. It's a great game and experience for what it is, and it's been a great time in the community enjoying this game with the homies. But don't expect more than a pretty niche horror game. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Till next time, love ya, see ya.